to...
Everybody, meeting is going to be called to order. Yeah, let's go.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Rick. I'm with the management company. This is your annual meeting. So normally you would have an election at the annual meeting, but because you have 2-year terms, there's no election this year. So essentially, there's really no business to conduct. We would need, in order to reach a quorum to hold your annual meeting, we would need 68 owners present in person or by proxy. We won't have that, but we could still go through the motion of the meeting, but there's really no business to attend to anyway, so it doesn't matter that we don't get quorum, and there's no election. So with that, I guess we'll turn it over to Mark. You want to call it to order? And
let's call it to order. You know, I'm trying to get this thing going.
I second and third.
So let's call to order. What time we got?
6:08.
6:08.
And then Mario's just going to give us an update on things around the building and some progress over the past year.
Yeah, I'm just going to go over all the things that we did in 2018. Last year, I wasn't able to really, I went over what Walter and, what's her name? Marlene had done. I wasn't here, so I was going to go over what everybody else did. However, I was present for everything that we did in 2018. So I'll quickly go over it. We did change the maintenance staff. So we have Victor, which many of you have met already, and Juan, that we hired a couple of months ago, or a month and a half ago. That's our new maintenance staff. We also hired Monica, who has been helping in the office. She's not going to be here much longer. She's probably going to be here for like another week. But she's been very helpful. She was here. She was hired for the purpose of helping with the administration part of the hurricane claim. That was the purpose of her being hired here. So she has helped out. We've gotten to the point where she no longer needs to be here to help us out with that, although I would love to keep her, but that's not what she got hired. So she will be moving on in about a week or two. And we're going to miss her very much. Let's see, let me go over here.
She might try and cancel. Am I correct?
We're trying.
We're trying.
We're working on trying to get
Trying to adopt her to cancel.
If you don't, we'll hold it against you.
For the people that don't know, I became a public notary so that you guys have that available for you guys. So if you didn't know and you need anything notarized, you guys could always come to the office for that. We also appointed 2 new board members this year, which is Mr. Andre Perlo and Francis McCullough. We negotiated some of the contracts, including waste management, payroll services, recycling company, and pest control, and the management fee from Castle Group, which has given us a savings of over $12,000 for the year. So those were all contracts that were renegotiated. During the budget, the budget just, the way it was approved, the maintenance assessment remained the same, so it did not change from 2018 to 2019. And then you will see some of the pictures here of things that we did. That's Monica and Victor. And that's one. All right, so one of the I'm just going to point out some of the major projects. We've continued replacing the sewer pipes on the different stacks, and we'll probably continue doing some more this year. But we're getting little by little, we'll get them all new. We replaced a computer in the front door that was damaged. We'll talk about the AC in a minute. We bought a brand new grill for the pool. The other one wasn't working correctly because it was not the appropriate grill, so we bought the correct grill this time. We installed the Wi-Fi hotspots in the common areas like the pool and the gym, in here in the rec room. We also bought an antenna that gives you access to Wi-Fi if you're all the way in the beach.
Right.
So it goes pretty far in every direction outside of the building, only for you guys. We installed new bollards. There were 2 that were missing, and then we matched them up with the same color sleeves. Do you know what a baller is? I'm asking.
I learned what the bollard was.
You know those things that stick up in the air?
Right.
I had to explain to some people what a bollard was.
We adopted Ann's word from.
It's not my word for
like
them. That's what they are. They're called bollards.
Okay.
So you don't rent to buildings? Yeah.
So we upgraded and cleaned out the Birch parking lot. The plans, the tree trims and the clean out. And we tested something out on the sidewalk area, which we're not, it didn't really work out, but we're going to do something else with that. We're just trying to figure out what would be the best thing we can do with it.
We don't have water down there.
We listened to the landscaper, they said it would last, it's all under warranty, we don't have irrigation down there, so...
We're looking
They want-
into irrigation.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, we're looking into pulling irrigation over there, and then we can get a little more creative with our landscape. That's one of the options. We'll go over a few other options once we think of them. But for now, that's the game plan, is probably to put irrigation there so we can make it look nicer. and
Or
prettier.
if you have grasses, you just need to get them watered for a couple of months until they take root.
Well, that's kind of the same thing they said about this. This was like the best plan for this area.
But I don't think
Water.
anyone was down there.
Those Green Island ficus that are everywhere, the small little green plants that are all across A1A, and we have it on the sidewalk where everyone walks their dogs, they will last forever. We were trying to get more creative. The only way to get more creative, actually, we asked the landscaper, we can do rocks, some other things, so you don't have to worry about irrigation. It was almost expensive as just getting irrigation. So I think we're going to get irrigation, and we can do what we want over there.
You probably just needed someone with a landscaper with a water truck to come for a month or two each day to
I think
water
it has to
them.
be like 3 times a week.
Sure, I mean, but it just needs to be till the roots. If it's like grasses, you just need to get them down,
You know what the problem is, even when you see over there? Yes, that's true. It'll last, but it'll be brown for 2 weeks. It rains for 3 days in a row, super green, it gets brown again. So it's, a decision we can make.
A lot of the hotels have the
May
rocks,
I
but the
say
rocks are
something?
the same price.
Why
so-
don't you call in a landscaper
That's what we
and
did.
tell you what exactly...
That's exact-
That's what
No,
we did.
we
That's
did.
what we did, and that's
We
what
did.
we're
We
dealing
tried-
with him now.
To none of our expense, we
It's
tried a
not
bunch of different
cancer.
plants that should grow all right.
Mr. Tanzo
They
has
die,
a
they
suggestion.
live, they die, they live. So you gotta get
Yes,
irrigation.
Bob. Yes, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Those plants, certain plants, are drought resistant. They can last years without...
The Green Island ficus will last forever. If you just want those small little plants that we have in the front.
No, they
and the-
grow what you want to grow. I planted in my place...
The clusia?
Calusia
I've learned.
apple. Calusia, yeah.
Like what's over
Calusia
there.
apple.
once that happens, then
Yes, you can do that, or we spend, what is it, almost $3,000, and we can do whatever we
For
want
the
there, and
irrigation,
anything will
right.
grow there.
I can give you the name of the plants that you, they approved actually by Broward County. Just take a look
Okay.
at plants there, has to
Okay.
approved by the county.
We're all about it.
Please do so.
Bring it up.
Perfect, yeah.
For sure, yeah.
They do
Any
that,
help is
they do it all
appreciated.
the time, no problem.
Yeah.
Please, thank you. All right, let's move on. All right, we installed a brand new camera in the back right here in the parking lot. We lost it during Hurricane Irma, so we installed a more high definition, see in the dark, camera back there, which is the direction we're going to go with the remaining of the cameras, little by little. Same type of cameras.
We did look,
I am getting that.
we need more
No,
spots.
the wall on this side.
Yeah, it's almost just here.
We need more spots, and it was another DVR we were looking into. You know the deal with that.
The way we're gonna have to do the DVR that we have that has the most amount of cameras is, it's the DVR that's been here for a while and it won't support this type of cameras. So we need to, it's not just a matter of installing cameras, we actually need to buy a brand new DVR that will support this type of cameras that we want to get. That's the reason why it's been a little delayed, but,
We do need
we
to
do have-
upgrade that camera system in the garage. I don't know if ever you guys have an accident or something happens. There's always a reason why the camera can't see something, so I think it's time that we spend the money on the camera system.
Good cameras, not those...
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, look, we have our camera guys are awesome. They love to give proposals like we're the Pentagon. The last one was like $35,000.
Yeah.
You're like, easy does it.
Yeah.
So we will upgrade it. We're gonna upgrade it.
We will, when we
But
get
for the most
somebody
part,
who we can
90% of the
afford.
time, we see what's going on. But we will upgrade it for sure.
yeah, installing the
It's
cameras
not
is not as expensive. The DVR box really threw the price way up there. That's what kind of slowed us down a little bit because we can't install a camera without it. So as soon as we install a new DVR, installing cameras is not gonna be that complicated, because
Yeah.
that's not that
Cameras
expensive.
altogether.
We have like,
We have-
20-something, I think.
We have, 16 and 8, 24.
24.
We all agree that in this building, security is very important.
Of course.
There was a mugging outside on A1A. Why is it necessary for them to leave their desk every hour on the hour to go to the garage?
Right.
Don't we have cameras that will tell you?
No, for sure. Yes,
1/4 of the hour, there's no one there.
but they're in the garage for 4 minutes, and then they go down.
I know, but walking there and walking back, it takes at least 15 minutes.
Taking the
And that's
elevator.
every hour.
I don't know, what's the periodic nature of which they leave their desk?
They leave, they do the rounds 4 times per shift, and it takes about 10 minutes for the
Is that
round.
necessary? You have cameras there, don't you?
Well, the shift is 8 hours, so it's, four times in 8 hours, it
But
takes...
you can't inspect, look, I know unbeknownst to a lot of people don't have stickers down there, people park illegally down there, people park illegally behind the building.
And then you
People
can't get-
park illegally, and a lot of people complain, not everyone hears about this, but we hear about it. So that's why we gotta check.
And you
Okay,
can't
but
get
isn't
a
it more
parking
important that
spot.
you could save a person from being mugged? Or
Well,
somebody
I'm not
gets in
sure
the
our
building?
security is prepared to
think
go out there
security is more
and stop
important
someone
than
from
the
being
police
mugged.
But I don't
That was at the
think,
snooze.
I
That
don't
was
think
a-
that the security guard is gonna stop a mugging. The security guard is
He's
gonna
gonna call
stop
police.
allowing someone to get inside of the building, but if they're missing, it doesn't mean that you're not gonna be allowed. You can't get
And
in the
here's the
building.
deal, even if they're gone, you can still get in the building, you have the call box there,
No,
you can
I
call your
bet a
own cell
stranger
phone to
can't.
open yourself
A
up.
stranger
And it's good
You have
they
your
won't be
key,
able to.
Yeah.
you don't need the security guard there. Everyone's used to having them there, but they have to check around the
Yeah, but the
property.
security guard is used for what? I'm trying to
Yes, It's
understand.
listed right there,
Mark,
they have their
hold
cell
on.
phone.
Actually,
But I still think
you just call the front office, and after the second ring, you'll go to the security cell phone.
Well, every 3 hours.
They only go 4 times a shift, but what I'm trying to understand is what you're saying. The security guard is not there, but who is mugging you? Is it that people in the building are letting criminals in? Because when the security guard is not there,
They can't get in.
they can't get in. So the security guard is not going to be working on the outside.
Plus, it's good if you have,
Everything.
if you have a security guard,
At the desk.
if you have a security guard, it's good for him to patrol. It's a good signal.
It's not so
for
much
anybody that's
security.
scoping the building, they know that the security guy is gonna get up and go around the building. That's a plus.
To interrupt Rick, it's also about security, it's about something dumped garbage in the backyard. Someone left a broken bicycle they write all this stuff up, light bulbs are out. This is what security does, it's not all about safety. They do what, maintenance is not here for on the weekend. They do all that stuff, or after hours. It's not just security.
Well, maybe we should spend a little bit more and have a security guard.
Is it that we need a baby? I guess I'm trying to understand. Is it a
Have someone at the
babysitter?
desk and have a security guard going around.
All right.
That's a lot of
I don't know that
Yeah,
we
it's
need
a
that much.
lot of
I want to
money.
get less.
Yeah, it's too much Big Brother-ish. I mean, we spent $120,000 on security anyway.
And-
Yeah, another one, another $40,000 a year.
Well, I think everybody needs to join the Republican Party and get a gun. Because honestly, that's the only thing that's going to affect
All
outside.
right, moving on. All right. No, seriously, I mean,
Works for me.
You just needed a chance to say that, right?
Yeah. Being a card
This is the
carrying
more about-
member. Being a card carrying
but that's the
member.
reason. It's not just security. They go around to look at different things. Water's leaking, they check the chiller room, they check the gym, they check the basement. It's not just security, just so you know.
They also see things when they walk, like for example, your car might have been parked here.
Or you
And
left your lights on. How
And you
many
left
times
your
do you
lights
call?
on, or somebody hit your car while it was parked there. They sometimes know, little things like that. Believe me, we hear about it, they notice it, because you don't
I
know,
almost
you're
wanna
upstairs, and they just come and say, you
Send
know,
everyone
so-and-so's
emails
car
how
got
many
hit.
security reports we get. You'd be like, I didn't even know all this stuff goes on.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
it's a lot.
All right, so we'll
All right, let's
continue.
move on.
It's okay.
Moving on.
Maintenance took a couple of steps to prevent the water from coming into the building as we get everything else completely and permanently fixed. One of the things was they sealed all the, underneath the threshold on all the doors that were right here on the, actually on that
South
side there, on the
facing.
south side doors, which is where most of the water intrusion came in. And during the rainy season that just passed, we were able to realize that that stopped a lot of the water from coming in. Another thing they did is they also sealed the cracks around the windows on the exterior wall of the building. We realized that some of the water that was coming in was sipping in through the cracks. So they spent, every time we saw some water intrusion, we went in there and sealed all the cracks. We got the north wall here that just had like a quarter of bricks. We got that repaired. We removed the bricks and painted the door, installed a vent,
Thank you, Nick.
and it looks much nicer out
Say
there.
thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick, for all your help on that too, and everything else that we're going to go through right now. Painted the chiller doors out there just, to match the pretty exterior wall that we fixed. We had, as you guys remember, in, September, October, we had a problem with the chiller where the pipes broke and there was, a disaster here in the building
No
for about a
air
week.
conditioning.
We spoke to an AC, to a public adjuster, somebody that helped us last time with the chiller, and they were actually here last week. They have all the information they need in regards to the AC, but they are requesting in the insurance adjuster himself, not our adjuster, but the insurance adjuster, suggested or requested a proposal on the electrical panel, because that got wet also, because it's in the same room as the chiller's room. So the point of that is that if we're going to get money to replace the chiller, and the AC company's suggestion was going with steel pipes, if we're going to do that, we might as well try to get money to replace the electrical panel, which is extremely old and it has shown, some kind of water damage, proofs of water damage. What, PVC? PVC pipes. However, we did install a lot of brackets. An engineer came out, we installed more brackets. We secure a lot of the pipes, and we haven't had any problems since. But we are still going to go and take advantage of this claim to try to improve our system.
What was the main reason for breaking up the pipe?
The insurance, the AC company that we have now, they're dealing with the insurance, so they won't tell us nothing. But what I got out of the engineer, what Victor got out of the engineers, was that there wasn't enough brackets holding the pipes correctly. So every time the water came down, it shook it, and it shook it, and it shook it, until eventually they all cracked. Yeah, and then one cracked, that gave more variation, which is why 2-3 days later, another one cracked, and 2-3 days later, another one cracked, and it became like a domino effect on the pipes.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
There you go.
Okay. Let's see. We also repaired the overhang roof. It had leaks and it was collecting a lot of water. Anybody that saw the east side of the building could see, or the B unit also, right? E, B, and H could see the water accumulating on that roof. So on the overhang of the porch of the driveway. What
On
is
the
it called?
porte-cochere.
You lost me there. You have me a baller.
Another bollard word.
You have me a baller, that's it. So we replaced it, and it was built in an angle so all the water drains. Now we added an extra drain in there, and now water doesn't collect there any longer. And it looks nice and bright. The saunas are an ongoing project. Victor had to put them aside for now to help out with the paint and everything else that we are going in here. But we got all the parts. We got new tiles, and ultimately then both showers are going to get redone. The lighting is going to get redone, and the carpet in there is going to get replaced by tile floors.
And somebody suggested a steam room. We're looking into that because apparently saunas are outdated.
I'm sorry, could you talk louder?
Somebody suggested a steam room instead of a sauna, so we're looking in steam, S-T-E-A-M. So we're looking into that instead of a sauna. That's...
Yeah.
Ask Frank. Frank got the last one removed, so ask Frank how to get a jacuzzi without getting it removed.
Well, we got them there now, so we'll see. Well, I'll make sure I inform everybody if anything changes, but as of now, they will remain saunas. As of now, they will remain
Nobody
saunas,
will ever use it.
and we'll see.
And nobody will ever use it.
Moving on, you guys have seen that the painting got started. They should be completed by the end of the week. They're on the last few floors and the last few touches on the hallways, and then we got carpet installation coming next Thursday. We started with the room here, and now they're finishing the hallways up. I think they finished the 17th floor today, or
Question.
pretty close to it. Go ahead.
On the painting, it's someone from management gonna go around the floors and look at all the doors and...
Make sure
check
they're-
sharp?
100%, of course. No,
You'll check it out, 'cause I can see there's spots that they left out.
as a matter of fact, I did my first round Monday, and I found a few problems. I needed to call the manager, and I told him the problems, and the reason why I called him then was because I didn't want them to come in and start packing up to leave, and then realize that they need to go back and clean everything. So I do have a list of things that need to be cleaned out and done before they get touched up before they leave, yes.
I see bubbles on the front of my door.
In other words, when you paint the door, sometimes the paint runs.
Hurry up, Erica is here, she's
You
not
know,
gonna shut up.
Is somebody gonna inspect for all of these imperfections after they're done?
Of course, I'm gonna continue inspecting them this week and before they
You
leave.
can report any problems also.
Yeah, exactly, especially that. I mean, there's 100 and probably like 50 doors in the building, so if there's anything that I haven't seen, I would appreciate a quick email.
Schedule for carpet.
The schedule for carpet, it will take place, starts on Thursday, next week Thursday, and it will take no more than 3 days for all the carpet to be installed in the hallways. So, yeah,
What color are they going to do?
You're
You're
sitting
stepping
on
on
it.
The same thing?
yes.
I want to know, when are they changing the lights?
Um,
Because it's so dark.
Just get directed to Nick.
Yeah, so we have about 100 or 90 of 120 total or so needed. We also bought some extras so that if in the future, if the stock gets discontinued, we have some backups. The bulbs are on their way. The bulbs are a bit of a challenge, both Ann, Mark, I looked for weeks online for the style, length, right color, the lumens, the output. Well, long story short, we have all of them coming, shipping out on Thursday, Amazon, so they should be probably early mid next week, the bulbs. The lights, the remaining lights, what floors are not yet done?
15, 16, 14, 15, 16,
So
17.
the top three, so 8, 16, about
Top
24,
four.
24, 25, 30 lights or so are being shipped out. We bought
Fixtures.
fixtures. We bought all they could from the manufacturer through the end of the year. They literally had no more. So the first shipment that was manufactured over the holidays is mailing out to us to here on the 18th of January. So it should be... Well, that's what we didn't want to do. We didn't want to get the bulbs from the manufacturer, so we're getting the bulbs from separate sources so we can get them ongoingly through the years, yes. And they can also change to any style we like. You know, if after 2 years these don't either wear well or whatever the issue might be, it's a standard size socket, so it can be any style bulb.
What was the reason these bulbs were selected?
Which bulbs? The ones on the 8th floor?
The ones on the 8th floor?
For the lights.
Basically colored output. So the whole project with lighting started because there's a very limited amount of lights per floor. In a perfect world, we'd probably add maybe, I would say, 4 or 5 lights more per floor for just general lighting, because there's big gaps of 8 and 10 feet of darkness between doors and things, et cetera.
Yes,
So
that's true.
That's why I'm worried about the paint job, because you can't really see the imperfections on the paint job.
So
because there's no
right,
light.
so the fixtures we got purposely, and this is another, a long undertaking about style and length and size, and do they come off the wall or flat sconces, etc. We got to what we did because for the price point we were shopping in, it's a large fixture. It does give off a lot of light. That's why it's a clear shade on it, and we were looking for the longest bulb we could, as bright as possible without being too obnoxious when you stare at it for 10 seconds, So that's basically where we got to with that. The most amount of lights for a fixed price point for the amount of existing lights without having to run up a new electrical wiring bill.
And we're assured of a continuous supply of those
Yes.
lights.
Yeah, any style light, like we can use literally any style with that, and that particular one is, it's not going to be discontinued.
And it's an LED, so it's
Yeah.
18 years or
It
something
should,
like that.
yeah, have long life.
Hopefully we will, not have to replace them anytime soon.
Mario?
Yes, sir.
The doors, the trim of the door there, all doors are closed and they painted on there. When you open the door, you have the white
Yeah,
stuff.
then we're
What do
going
you
back to
with
do
that
that
part?
ourselves.
But there was 2 options, and they were sent by email. While their painters are here, they can do them, however, because it is...
They made 3 times appointment and they never showed up to do it. My wife spent all day there waiting for them, and
We didn't know that.
Like
She
no
called
gas.
down to the office.
The other,
We could send
not
them.
to jump in, but we went
Yeah.
back and forth again, Mark and Ann.
Yes.
on this and with painters. The other issue with this is that those doors are an oil base, which has a very long dry period. So the other issue we ran into, if the painting company were to do them, for instance, and your wife was there and they come and they paint at 8:30, that door's gonna have to remain open a little bit while you guys are...
It's about 3 hours, because they did
Yeah.
mine, it was about 3 hours and it was
It was
dry.
actually five.
It
It was 5 hours for me.
Sure, no,
I
understood.
looked at
Mine was
the-
about 3.
It's not something...
Who,
that the
who
painting
did you guys set up the
company
appointment with for the painters to go up? Just out of curiosity.
Why didn't she call them?
She called the office down here?
I mean, you gotta really set up with Mario.
They came immediately to my place.
They did mine too, and they did
Yeah,
Mark.
that's why I was just wondering, if you talk to the painter, then maybe they might have skipped it, they might have
You know,
forgotten.
it always-
When I know, I make sure that they do it, like, I constantly get on them.
They came down with a key there. My wife was when they opened the door down there, they were supposed to paint it, they said, yeah, we'll run back
No,
to
it
paint
had to be set up by the
The
office.
piece never came back.
All right, well, I'll check on them tomorrow. Are you guys available tomorrow?
Who gave the keys to, without anybody from the building accompanying them?
Are you sure as a painter, we've never given the painters keys to any apartment?
We didn't
All the
give,
guys working there, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No.
The only way for them to paint a single apartment is by knocking on the door and the resident opening their door because they have to remain in their
they
apartment.
don't have any keys.
Yeah, they don't have
Not-
any
They
keys.
don't have one single key.
It might have been a different contractor for something different, but it wasn't a painter. Well, it's only if you request for them to do it.
Excuse me, I just want to make a statement. My door on 14A was painted, and I didn't know it, and that's how my husband ruined his shirt. A brand new shirt.
But that's the outside of
Yeah,
the
but
door.
it was
We're talking
written
about
in
the inside of the
elevator that it was
doors.
being painted, you don't
But
read.
shouldn't they have knocked on the door?
No.
To paint the outside of the door?
Then they're
Mm.
gonna
It was
paint
written in the elevator.
No, that wasn't the, no, that's not what they were
No,
going
because
to
they
do.
start at 8:30 in the morning, you
Yeah.
don't need to knock on your door, I
What?
would think. Yeah.
Why not? I mean,
Some
there
people
should
would
be
frown on that.
There should be a note somewhere to say that...
There was a note in every elevator, Martella, there was a note in the elevator, I don't want to speak to
My
that.
glass was done.
Talk to that.
You know, I'm just going to handle that and call it a day.
Guys, I have a 7 o'clock meeting that I have.
Okay,
So,
Rick,
good
thank
to
you
see
for
everybody.
coming.
Nice to meet you.
Let's go.
All right, so we do have a project going on right now, and it's the back room that used to, I mean, it was pretty much a storage room for over 7 years.
It was a workout room.
No, the gym is on the other side. That room was just, it had a bunch of boxes and door and TV.
But you have that
Dressers.
upside down, what do you call it? My friend was using it, where you go down all the way on the bottom, and you straight, the inversion table.
Yeah, but it
That
broke.
was there.
It
What
broke.
happened to it?
It broke.
It broke. That thing broke, and
That
everything
was
in
an
there was
owner
pretty
donated
damaged.
thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
There was a couple of things that were donated, or like, different owners were using it for storage.
Okay.
So they went and picked up their stuff, and the rest of the stuff, we got rid of it via
It was
bulk.
pretty much abandoned.
To tell you how long it was abandoned, we found a cockroach nest that had, where they had died 6 years ago. They had disintegrated into dust, and they were sitting there for over 6 years. That's how long that room was a trash room.
Yeah, for a
So
very long
actually,
time
we
it
were
was.
paying to air condition a trash room
Just
for
trying to
7
put some
years.
use to it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna put some use to it now. If something else comes up in the near future, then, you know, the floors that we install in that room are all-purpose floors, they're water resistant, they're very strong, so it could be, that room could be used for almost anything, you know, as we move along.
You still have the ping pong table.
It broke.
That thing, when we were moving it downstairs, it just collapsed. So the ping pong table is not there
A lot of
anymore.
people are using that more than the pool table, you know, the kids like the ping pong, it gave them...
In that room over there?
Right, exactly.
I've never
It gave them a
seen
chance
that room.
to get
I've
red
never
of
seen a
the
person
energy.
in there in
And
my
and not
life.
only that, this guy said nobody ever sent the paddles.
Well, because it's not out here. I mean, we discussed that it could be in here too, like we used to have. It's something to be revisited. We just wanted to finish all the cosmetic work and then we can revisit.
Okay, so let's go next. Go on. Let's go.
Just get a board.
The ping pong table is really not an expensive item, so if we ever decide that we want to bring the ping pong table back, it
not
wouldn't
a
be a
big
big deal. We can bring
No
it
one's
back.
saying you can't play.
They also sell pool tables now that have tops that
Yeah,
you
we
can